Hey everyone, we're gonna fly a little bit more. I just feel like doing some grinding. I'm gonna buy another plane, something really cool, so let's just do some flying. We gotta make that money. So here's some really valuable flights. So we'll just do the Edmonton one. Put on your seatbelt, guys. Gonna be taking off here. I believe we are in Antarctica, so it's gonna be a bit of a long flight.
Ocean 3439 Foxtrot Alpha, Yankee and Hotel. Hold to the runway 4 left for me.
Definitely gotta get some elevation here to clear these mountains over here.
3439, I'm going to change that. At Yankee, make a right turn at Golf and hold to the runway 4 left.
Alright, Yankee, make the right turn at Golf for flight to 3479.
Thanks, Ocean 3439, and at Golf, hold to the runway 4 left.
And at Golf, short of 4 left, flight to 3479.
And yeah, we're clearing. So that's good.
Ocean 3439, Kennedy Tower, following heavy increase 37.5 miles ahead, caution wake currents, wind 32011, duck 19, runway 4, clear to land.
Clear to land, flight to 3479.
Okay, we're on our way to Edmonton. It's gonna be wild. This is a long trip. 10,000 nautical miles. It's a pretty fast plane, but it's still gonna be a while. So how is everyone? I hope you're doing well. Here in the northern hemisphere, we have the first day of spring. Of course, down here in the southern hemisphere where we are now, in Antarctica, it would be the first day of autumn. But, yeah, first day of spring. Are you the type of person that loves spring, loves, the weather getting warmer? Maybe for you it's just the run up to summertime, and I know we have all these summer loving people. You know, you're crazy, but you know, I love you anyway. But yeah, I used to love spring, and then my allergies have gotten a little worse the last few years, which makes me not like spring quite as much.
Tower, flight to 3479, ILS 4 right.
Ocean 3439, Kennedy Tower, following heavy increase 37.5 miles ahead, caution wake currents, wind 32011, duck 19, runway 4, clear to land.
Clear to land, flight to 3479.
I'll turn them down a little bit. You know, plus it's just, we've been having droughts in the spring the last several years, pretty severe ones, and the threat of wildfires, and which really freak me out. There's not a lot of natural disasters that kind of give me anxiety, but I will say that droughts and wildfires, that's rather high on the list for me. And I know a lot of us have been dealing with that sort of thing. But it was a very cold, prolonged winter here this year, which it does make spring feel a little more welcome. The winters have been so mild here for so long. I would say nearly a decade that we got really clobbered by some very cold weather this year. Not only more than the usual share of snow, but just very cold weather. And a lot of days I just felt like it was difficult to get warmed up. Probably taking more really hot showers than I should have, drying out my skin. But yeah, the warmer weather has felt nice. Now, allergies are definitely ramping up here. A lot of sneezing, a lot of itchy eyes. Not that fun, but it's a little cooler right now. We actually had a little bit of rain, so that was good. We needed it. Now we're at high altitude. Boy, that high altitude really just sneaks up on you sometimes. This is where we are. A very long flight. My goodness. Long stretch of ocean in front of us. Cockpit view.
Tower flight 3479, ILS 4 right.
Kind of like this view for now. At least the clouds over the dark water. There's a little more interest. But yeah, maybe you're all about springtime. Maybe you just love it. I kind of like autumn better these days. Oh goodness. High altitude again. Especially mid to late autumn is such a great time of year. And here we go, we're diving down into the clouds. Whee!
Tower flight to 3479, ILS 4 right.
Flight 3479 Kennedy Tower following heavy A330, 7.5 miles ahead, caution wake coming, wind 32011, gust 19, rolling 4, clear to land.
Clear to land, flight to 3479.
Wonder how many airports in the world actually have direct flights to Antarctica. I can't imagine there's very many. I would say there's maybe some in Australia or New Zealand. Seems like it would be kind of a rarity.
ILS 4 right.
Flight 3479 Kennedy Tower following heavy A330, 7.5 miles ahead, caution wake coming, wind 32011, gust 19, rolling 4, clear to land.
Clear to land, flight to 3479.
I suppose they still happen. I know that there used to be the flights that would take off from New Zealand and just fly around a bit of Antarctica just for people to sightsee out the jet, maybe take some pictures. There was a disaster with one time the jet crashed into a large mountainside, and it was a
3479 Foxtrot Alpha, Yankee Inn Hotel.
really
Runway 4 left, remain this frequency.
Herculean effort to
Hotel with you, flight to 3479.
recover the victims by a group of people from emergency responders from New Zealand. As you can imagine, it was just very harsh conditions and really terrible. There's a lot of documentaries and things out there about it. Maybe not the most cheery thought for a game where you're just having a easy breezy simulated flight in a pixelated world, but yeah, it's kind of an interesting story if you like stuff like that.
3479 and at Golf, hold to the runway 4 left.
And at Golf short of 4 left, flight to 3479.
Roger, Woody into the wind. Delta Alpha.
Rather large
Right, Bravo and monitor ground point.
bunch of clouds here.
Bravo, ground point 9, 4.
And how about you? Would you go on a touristy trip to Antarctica, actually go and stay in some kind of a facility for a little while?
Bravo, ground point 9, Kipling 4.
I don't know, it might be kind of nice. It's kind of one of those things that sounds sort of trendy, sounds like the kind of place where, you know, people of certain means would go and maybe use up a lot of resources and possibly damage fragile ecosystems. So maybe it's just best to be the kind of place where we just watch the 4K and whatever videos. We enjoy it from afar. I'm not saying people are inherently bad for going places like that, but you know, if too many of us do things like that, it's not great. It could cause some damage. Could use up a lot of resources doing things like that. Just trying to be unique. What about you? Do you think that you could handle if you had to endure some isolation? And if you were a scientist or something and you were stationed there, didn't really get to see much people, very few people, very little human interaction, do you think you could handle that? There's always that question. I guess you sort of could look at it like the movie The Shining, or movies about the Lighthouse Saga. You know, a lot of people fantasize about doing things like that where they're stationed out in the middle of nowhere with no to very little human interaction. How would you process that? Would you be okay? It does kind of seem like most people can't really deal with that, and I think that's fine. Most humans are very, very social. We are a social species after all. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. On the other hand, some of us can almost thrive in those kind of conditions. I think it's a little more on the rare side to be like that. I don't think it makes you a better person or more special or anything like that. I'm kind of like that. I can handle periods of isolation, I think, better than most people. I've just always been like that. Where are we now? So we're crossing over Australia.
Tower flight to 3479, ILS 4 right.
I think even in us people, we people who think that we can handle a little more isolation better than most, I think you still have to watch out for it because it can definitely play on your mind and sneak up on you in ways you don't really see or expect. And you still have to work on keeping your mind active, not letting parts of your mind atrophy. And even if you don't have direct human interaction, I think it's important to maybe have conversations digitally or some aspect. You gotta You gotta stay grounded somehow. I think a lot of it goes back to how much interaction you're used to having. If you're used to being quite social, if you grew up in a more urban setting or with a lot of people around you, if you're used to a lot of interaction, just cutting that out, that's definitely different. I've noticed that. But there is a huge difference, I think, in the way our brains are wired. If we have a lot of interaction, a lot of social interaction, as opposed to people who are in a more isolated situation, our brains definitely seem to work very differently. People who are used to that interaction and very social settings, they will get bored very quickly. They will get bored very easily when they are put in a situation where they're more isolated. Even if they have, a handful of people to interact with, it's going to be a struggle. They're going to be bored, and they're probably going to lose their grip quite quickly. In a very isolated setting, it's going to be difficult. And I guess if you are used to isolation and you try to quickly adapt to a situation where you're around others a lot, maybe around a lot of people, it's going to be overstimulating. It's going to be probably very stressful for you. I think in isolation there's more time to reflect on yourself, more time to make decisions, slowly contemplate things, come to terms with how you feel about things, your preferences. And I think when you find yourself in a highly social situation, you're expected to make decisions more on the cuff, make more quick decisions, kind of fall in line, acquiesce to what other people want. And that might be very difficult for you. You would have to really adapt to that quicker pace. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand that have lived their lives in an urban setting, very fast-paced environment. You're always trying to get to where you need to be. Everything's set up for a schedule. There's really very little time to contemplate the value of things. It's very little time for people to think about what they want and to kind of compare that with what they're doing just to accommodate others. And I wish that everyone had the experience of, and the luxury actually, of just being able to take some time and live in a slower, kind of meditative way, the way our ancient ancestors used to live. And just figure out what you want. Figure out who you are apart from all the background noise. I think that's definitely getting harder and harder for people to do, even when they have the opportunity to step away. It's difficult because we're used to being plugged in all the time. And those times when we can just sort of focus more on one thing, kind of rest our minds a bit, and just let everything get hazy and out of focus, and listen to our inner voice, or just examine all the things that might just fall into the background, typically because we're addicted to the adrenaline rushes and the dopamine hits of achieving little micro goals, or maybe big goals, but we're always trying to hear the ding of whatever little award we've achieved for ourselves, and we become addicted to that. And that's really the enemy of meditation. That's kind of the enemy of contemplation, and it's the enemy of kind of living genuinely. Now, it's fun, and I'm not saying it's always bad, and we are kind of just set up like that. Our brains are set up that way. It's definitely an aid for survival in the right situation. But when we've kind of allowed capitalism to exploit that about us, and it takes over who we are, we really lose touch with more foundational things. And I suppose religion and spirituality and belief structures used to kind of set us back on the right path to a certain extent. A lot of us really are really not religious anymore. We don't follow a particular mythology practice anymore. So maybe we feel a little rudderless. How to get that back, how to get those moments back when we stop focusing on work and school and achieving this and getting that and buying this and having this and the next thing-ism that kind of takes over modern life. It's like, how do we fill that void that religions and mythologies used to fill in our lives, and how do we get that back without adhering to any specific group or belief structure? Like, how do we fit that into a rationalist modern structure in our lives? And I think sometimes it's just letting go. It's just sitting and having a quote-unquote Zen moment. Watch a bumblebee go from flower to flower. That's something we can do in the spring, you know. I don't know about you, but here we have a lot of little bumblebees and things like that. And once certain things start to bloom, they just buzz about. If you can't do that, maybe just people watch for a moment, or observe a tree or a cloud, or just let your mind wander. Like, did you ever do that when you were a kid? Did you ever just sit, maybe people watch? You just watched something. It really bugs me when people do that, and especially children, and someone will come along and be like, oh, you don't have anything to do? Let me give you something to do. Or, well, you look bored, or you're not doing anything productive. No. In those moments, that can be extremely productive moments. We can problem solve, we can examine ourselves. Maybe we have a moment of clarity where we realize a relationship, a job, where we live, something about us that's not working anymore, and we need to make a change. And we need those moments. We need those down moments. Don't let society, don't let others, don't let capitalism dictate to you that you should always be busy, you should always be productive, because that is just kind of the enemy of authenticity. That's the enemy of peace of mind, this sense that we should always be producing. You know, you shouldn't sit in this idea, you shouldn't be idle, you shouldn't sit and not have something in your hands. If you knit, you should be knitting something to sell on Etsy, or you should be, I don't know, trying to trade crypto or do something. You should always be productive, always be trying to start a business, or don't create something unless it has some kind of monetary value. That, to me, is the sign of a very sick society. And I understand where people are coming from that feel that way, because I've been there too. I've sold things on Etsy, I've created things, I've tried to start some businesses, and I understand that life is hard and that financial situations are just getting harder. I get it, but we really need those moments, those down moments, you know, and we need those moments of just staring out of a window into space, or just thinking abstractly. And I think that I have gotten really very bad lately, especially at having those moments of being open and receptive to it. My mind just, sometimes it just goes by a million miles an hour, and my thoughts are just crazy and out of control. But I think once we realize that we need those moments, we understand that they have a lot of value, they have a lot of purpose in our lives. We don't let anyone shame us for having those moments. I think we reclaim something of what it means to be a human being, to be a living thing on this planet. Okay, we're around 2,500 nautical miles away from our destination. This is a long journey, guys. Very long journey. Would a plane even have enough fuel for this long of a journey? They have to stop somewhere and refuel. I'm not really sure. I'm sure that there's plenty of large planes that have just incredible fuel capacities. So I'm just gonna think about what plane I'm gonna get next on here. Do you think some kind of a faster moving stealth type jet or something? Some of those are really expensive. We do have some money saved up on here. We got some money. I think I had about 10 million in the in-game currency. This trip should be pretty lucrative. It's very long, so we'll see what we get next. Just want to get something different. So far we have some large jets, small jets, maybe a couple little prop planes.
Flight 3479, I'm going to change that. At Yankee, make the right turn at Gulf and hold short of the lane 4 left.
Alright, Yankee, make the right turn at Golf for flight to 3479.
Altitude got a little low there. Well, that's okay. We'll just increase our altitude here. Don't want to increase it too much. Almost there, almost.
Flight 3479, Kennedy Tower, following heavy 337.5 miles ahead, caution, wake Germans, wind 32011, gust 19, or only 4, go to land.
Go ahead and land, flight to 3479.
So where are we now? So we're just off the west coast of North America. We're almost there, getting close. Be there soon. See the ocean beneath us.
Thanks, Flight 3479, and at Gulf, hold short of the lane 4 left.
And at Golf, short of 4 left, flight to 3479.
Around 1,200 nautical miles now.
Flight 3479, Kennedy Tower, following heavy 337.5 miles ahead, caution, wake Germans, wind 32011, gust 19, or only 4, go to land.
Oh,
Go ahead and land, flight to 3479.
altitude gets so high. And here's some land off to our right. The coast of Oregon or Washington State. Got the Pacific Ocean below us. Coastline. Some nice whales and seals and
Power flight to 3479.
orcas with big sharp teeth, and we got some great white sharks with very sharp teeth. Bit of a cloud bank here. That's okay. We'll just go right through these nice wispy white clouds. What do you think? We just got less than 1,000 miles now. Be there quickly. At least according to in-game distance. Won't take long. We're gonna increase our altitude here. Go over these clouds.
Foxtrot Alpha, Yankee and Hotel with you, flagship 3479.
Flight 3479, I'm going to change that. At Yankee, make a right turn at Golf and hold to the runway 4 left.
Alright, Yankee, make the right turn at Golf for flagship 3479.
Thanks, flagship 3479, and at Golf, hold to the runway 4 left.
And at Golf, short of 4 left, flagship 3479.
And a lot of clouds underneath us now. Look at that big, thick blanket of white, fluffy clouds.
Flight 3479, I'm going to change that. At Yankee, make a right turn at Golf and hold to the
Now it
runway
wants
4
us to
left.
go lower,
Yankee, make the right turn at Golf for
actually
flagship
into the
3479.
clouds. A little bit, maybe. Okay, we just got about 300 nautical miles to go now. Should be starting our descent to land soon. Everyone excited about landing in Edmonton. Seems like it's been a long time since we took off from Antarctica.
4 Roger, where do you enter the ramp?
Delta Alpha.
Thank you, taxi right, Bravo, and monitor ground point 9, have a good day.
Right, Bravo, ground point 9, zip with 4.
Okay, here we go. Now we'll start our landing. Everyone ready? So have you guys heard the rumor that, I don't know, maybe it's more substantial than a rumor, that Microsoft Flight Simulator will run on the Switch 2. I know a lot of people are kind of excited about that. Very interested in playing the game on a Nintendo console. Would be pretty nice. And we can see the city down there. Getting closer. So what about you? Is there any games that's going to be announced for the Switch 2 that you're particularly wanting to play, excited about? Maybe you're kind of like me, wondering how the heck you're going to afford another console right now. Might be halfway through its lifespan before you manage to get one. Might have to just make do with the regular Switch for a while. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a special direct. Is it April 2nd or something? About the Switch 2. Get to learn more details about it. Well, I will definitely be watching to find out more about it. So the city is getting closer into view. It has been a very long flight. We've talked a lot about a lot of different things. Had some long conversations. I hope you've enjoyed your flight from Antarctica to Edmonton, and you've enjoyed your time in the skies. I hope you've enjoyed our little talk. I don't know, it feels like we're lined up a little crooked here. I'm not quite sure how it got like that. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm kind of imagining things. I don't know. We are getting very close now. Be putting down the landing gear soon. Did I have the landing gear up the whole time or something? I didn't think I did. It doesn't really seem to make much difference. This plane just kind of has the landing gear down all the time. Looks like from a visual perspective, so. Okay, folks, we are finally here. Finally to our destination. Be there soon. Ooh. Okay, we are here. We made it to the airport. We're golden, folks. Again, thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe if you would. Thank you so much for watching to the end here with me. If you did, you're great. You're a real champ. I appreciate it so much. I'll talk to you later. Take care.